Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on? Thank you for the likes and welcome to our new member, Pamela Smith. Hey, you're Jaganita. Welcome to Jag Nation. Um, I'm not sure. I just want to make sure. Can everyone hear me? Just put a Y in the chat or say yes if you can hear me. I want to make sure everyone can hear me. I know you can see me. Maybe not me, but I want to know that you can hear me. Okay. You know, there's a lot going on in the world right now. But before we get started, let me shout out the fam and to those who were here before we turned on members mode. Please stick around. Feel free to stick around. And hopefully one day you'll be able to get a membership. But the truth is, we're gonna be talking about some really serious stuff tonight. And I'm not in the mood for it. I'm not in the mood for the weirdos. But love you all. Thank you for being here. Okay. We got a new member. We got Pamela. Welcome to the family. We got Ike. We got Yamche. We got LA Chick. Okay. We got Yvonne. We got Barbara. We got Pat Blair in the house. All right. So we got a lot of our familiars. No mods yet. Uh, yeah. Today it was really interesting. Um, I had a weekend. I was busy doing a bunch of stuff, and I was curious to see what the day was going to bring. And, the older I get, I wish I could say that I'm not surprised at all when I see exactly how far the devil and liars will go to run their agenda. But man, so apparently we done went back to the 80s and people is running around getting their chains snatched. Like that's wild to me. Like it's wild to me that like that was actually a thumbnail today. And welcome to everyone that's in the room. And thank you for the 51 likes. Please keep liking. Let them know that we up in here. You know what I mean? Like they work so hard to suppress this channel. They work so hard to keep people out. So let's let people in. Let's let the sunshine in. Um, but yeah, no, it's just kind of wild. Like people are getting their chains snatched. Hey, welcome, Michael. Thank you. As always, guys, yes, please keep hitting that like and salute to one of our heavy hitting wrench carriers. No, but really though, like of all of the things that I was surprised to see, somebody getting a chain snatch, grown ass people getting a chain snatch. You know what? I want to take a poll. That's what I want to do. I want to take a posy wosy. Okay. Mm-mm. No, no. I can't set a poll. What's going on? I usually, if I hit that button, I should be able to do a posy wosy, but it's looking like, no. I'm gonna have to find another way because we gonna have to, like they can't hate on us. People is tripping, they losing their minds. Um, music getting stolen out of the choreographer's car or whatever the case may be. That's one thing. That's one thing. You know, I I, I didn't have a lot to say about that, but you got your chain snatched. Somebody snatched your chain. Like somebody ran up and snatched your chain. And we supposed to believe it. Like that's the question. Like, what do we really believe? Like I'm still trying to figure out how people report this crap with straight faces, but oh, welcome Adrian, welcome to Jag Nation. I'm just trying to figure it out. Okay, this is somebody who constantly has paid security, serious too, real serious security. But at your wife's concert, I know you definitely have security all over the place. I know that. I know it's just a mm. But and when they started switching up the details, it might have been left in a room, it might have been on his neck, who knows? But wherever it got stolen, it got snatched. And somebody came dressed like a super villain, like a Bond villain, and they were dressed to the nines, and they took the chain, and they ran, and they made it to the docking gate where there was a getaway car waiting, and they jumped into the car and then they took off with the chain. Like it wasn't even that dramatic back in the 80s in Philadelphia. Like it was never that dramatic. Somebody snatched your chain, somebody snatched your chain. But this is the thing, a $3 million chain. Mm, mm, okay, got it. Got it. And we're supposed to believe that. But that's the thing. And that's really what I wanted to talk about with you guys today. It's like, what do we believe? Like, for real. What do we believe? What do we allow ourselves to believe? Like, what's good? Like, anybody nowadays can say anything and it just fly. What do we believe? Next month is going to be the what? 24th anniversary of 9/11.
Dang, yeah. Wow.
And I learned a lot on that day because I was there. We had just all flown in from Cali, Levi's self engineered tour. This is when I was still with the Roots and just breaking off solo. Um, I had my band, my background singers, my whole setup. And it was interesting because I had just found out I was pregnant with my son Sam.
Mm.
And that night, something just wasn't right. I could feel it. There was something off in the energy. Um, I didn't go out. I ordered some dinner. I picked it up. I brought it back to my suite. And it's wild because for those of you who know me, but a lot of you are just getting to know me. Could you do me a favor? Keep double tapping that screen. Keep hitting that like. Please let them know we up in here. And this is a true story.
Also, yeah, I was gonna say, y'all hit the like button. Go ahead. True story. We're here for it.
So, you know, I'll never forget going to sleep. And I don't know. I was unsettled. When crazy stuff is happening in the world, for those of us who are truly tapped in, especially those of us who are real empaths, nothing really gets by you. You feel it. You feel it in the air around you. You feel like something is amiss, something's off. And I was tossing and turning and I was blaming it on being newly pregnant. Infomercials were on and hmm, I started flipping the channels. I woke up out of my sleep and I'm looking and I'm seeing this burning building with a hole through the side of it.
Mm.
And the first thing that came to my mind is what they doing in the Middle East now. And then the caption popped up, New York City. I jumped out of my bed. I ran to my window in my suite and I looked because I could see the towers from my hotel room. I was like on the 75th floor. I was in Times Square, right across the street from BB King's. I think I was sharing some of this with you, maybe a little bit. I think we might have talked a little bit about it in New York
We did. We
when we
did.
were there
Yeah.
for the trial. Mm. And sure enough, there it was. What was on the TV was right there, just on the other side of town. And I'm watching it. I was standing at my window looking at all of New York scattered like lab rats let out of a cage. You could see the terror everywhere. And then when the second plane came, I saw that one hit with my own eyes. I didn't watch that on TV. I watched that. I watched it go through. I still sometimes, in my dreams, I could see the little dots jumping out of the building because they were people. It looked like little dots from where I was, but I could see the people that were jumping out. I remember being trapped. I remember feeling trapped for 7 hours. No telephones worked. No one could call out. Um, and it's so funny because that's when I realized exactly how they manipulate the media. Now, how many planes do you remember them reporting went missing that morning?
I don't even remember. Um, four, right?
No, it was more than that. A lot more than that. Does anybody here in the chat remember almost 24 years ago how many planes they reported went missing nationally? Because see, those of us who were there in New York, we got the real news. We got the boots on the ground news. Somebody said 10.
Oh, I think it was seven. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm curious to see how many people are gonna. Yeah, I remember one of my older. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anybody else remember how many planes were reported? Told us on our news it was 10. No. When I woke up that morning and they started giving us reports, 12 planes had gone missing. 12. Now that's what we got in New York that morning. The rest of the nation got the number that y'all are calling out.
Mm.
And I remember some cities reported it was only 8. So that was the first time I realized. because when I was finally able to get on the phone and I called my mom and dad, talked to my dad was just like, it's good to hear your voice. I remember what it's like, because he'd been through some other stuff in the military. He was like, just keep calm as long as you're cool, as long as you're safe. Just do what you got to do, follow the rules, and make it home. And I mean, I had just found out I was pregnant with Sam.
Mm.
So you vaguely remember hearing 7 or 8? Exactly. There were a few different reports, but the initial report that was reported in New York City before the rest of the news went out nationally to the rest of the world was 12. There were 12 planes that went missing, and they never corrected it. And anytime anyone asked or said anything, like I remember on the next day, as we were leaving New York, there was a reporter who was still reporting 12. And then someone said, no, you're wrong. And they changed the number and told them the number to give.
Mm.
That was when I first realized how easy it is to manipulate the news, how easy it is to manipulate society, how easy it is to lie to the public and nobody have any idea what's going on. So look, we've been here about 15 minutes. We got 400 and some odd people in the room. We need those likes to match those views.
Hit the like.
So yeah, that was just a really important lesson for me to learn. I was 24 going on 25. And it was the first time I realized this country, we play too much. We do too much. And you should never really believe too much of what you hear or see on the news because it can be altered or edited, all depending on who's pushing the buttons. Um, Now, there's a lot of things that I could say about 9/11. I don't know. There was something that was off to me about the way George W. received the news because he was at a school and he was talking to some kids at a school. But the way he received it, it wasn't like he had gotten alarming news. It was almost like confirmation, like, yeah, it's done. The deed is done. Like it felt more like that um, for those of us that were watching. But real rat, it's kooky. Like it's kooky how easy it is to manipulate the public just by saying some things on a microphone or saying some things on the screen. So, hmm, here we are all of these years later. Now, it's gotten worse now because now people literally say whatever and just register it through as real. It doesn't matter what it is now. It's just like people are just, they say whatever they want to say. They do whatever they want to do. They really don't seem to care. Yeah, I got robbed.
Mm.
They snatched my chain. They stole my music. And now I got to put my album out faster and I got to tour faster. Not because I got bills to pay and I ain't got no money. Not because I stole this from another artist and I'm trying to, get it out there as quickly as possible to get ready for the whatever lawsuit is coming so I can pay them off and nobody knows that I'm still jacking music. It's just funny. It's funny when some of the biggest thieves in the world are now complaining about being robbed. Like that's just funny to me. Like that's super duper 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 funny. Um, yeah, they lying through their caps because most of them don't even got teeth. Most of them just lying through their caps. But that's why I asked, what do we believe? There was something else that I saw that really got to me too this morning. I'll be sure came forward with some deep, some receipts. And allegedly, it leads to proof that the diddler has been paying to manipulate the media, to sell the story they want, and to quash and crush anything that's competing with the lies they're telling. Isn't that interesting?
Hmm. You don't say. I mean,
Hmm.
we definitely should know that Harvey is over there glazing Diddy. Like
Hmm.
1 minute, and I know you're gonna
Glizzy,
get into that. I know you're gonna
Glizzy.
get into that. Yeah, just I know you're gonna get more into it, but because I'm even gonna go in and go a little bit further with the Hadleys and TMZ's interaction. Um, oh, I think I remember the story because not only is TMZ caping for Diddy, it's yeah. But hold on, when we get there, I think I got it. We'll talk about it. But I'll be sure coming out now saying it, and I think it's because a lot of people can kind of see. It's like you kind of got to let stuff get out so people could really see. Like you came out, said a whole bunch of stuff, and people were looking at you like, and then time had it had to catch up, and then it was like, oh, she wasn't bullshit. She wasn't bullshit. It was real. So I think I'll be sure coming out now. It's like if he'd have came out and said it 6 months back, 8 months back, he'd be
Truth
looking a
is,
little bit.
he's been saying it,
No, I
but
know,
he's
I
been
know.
holding things hella tight. And I don't think people really understand how damaging it is when you have whole like news conglomerates committed to lying on you. When you have whole networks of associates or conspirators, co-conspirators
Yeah,
lying on you.
yeah. It's
I'll
wild.
be sure for many years he has been lied on, and it happens to everyone that gets targeted. I've been lied on and lied on and lied on for so many years. Like, I didn't even want to believe how people were lying on me, how they were manipulating things until I started realizing, hold up, they're changing the details here, they're changing the facts here, they're reworking history, they're reworking what really happened, you know? I seen a content creator on here earlier today trying to craft a story about the Jigga Man and Aaliyah. Like, you weren't even there, bro. Shut up. You were the picture man. Shut up. Can't even call you a cameraman. You was the picture man. You know, and then, just people just wanting to have stuff to say. Oh yeah, well, Dave don't know what Aaliyah was doing, and neither do you. Not for real, for real. But he did say something though that was very interesting. He started talking about, you know how many times I've seen Jay-Z with Beyonce long before they was acknowledging that they was together. Well, if her age is right and you seen them together long before, then I guess that would mean that she was underage.
Hey, minor.
Did you see them together when she was underage? I'm gonna pause on that because right now I'm not happy with the likes. Like not at all.
Y'all hit the like button. And Jag, I figured it out. I made well, I'm A plus tech in the chat, y'all, FYI,
Mm.
because for whatever reason, I didn't know how to do the mod thing or the what do you call it? The whatever for the members. But I'm a member, so that's me, y'all. FYI. So I'm done trolling. I done did my investigative work. I'm getting back to my tech side. So that's my tech channel. Y'all could sub or whatever. But I'm just letting y'all know.
Are you
Hit the like
announcing
button.
that that was like a troll channel for you or something? What are you
No.
announcing?
No. That channel has
Oh,
always been sitting there for me when I was going to do the tutorials. Remember for
oh yeah,
I told
yeah,
you for
yeah.
yeah. special effects, all that good stuff. Yeah. Um, no, no,
This
no, no,
is
no. Hit,
wild.
hit the like button, y'all. Y'all hit the like button.
This isn't letting me
Um,
do polls. I can't do a posy wolsey.
hold on. So let me see.
It's not letting me do a
Um,
poll.
well, maybe I can do it. Let me get in under your thing real quick. Hold on.
No, it's
Oh,
not
because it
letting
said
me.
participants
No,
timestamps.
I'm not
I can
removing
go in under
that. Well, maybe
yours.
it's because you're my guest. Maybe it's because of,
Well, yeah. Then I. That's what I'm saying. Let me go ahead and do it. Oh, I see you were on the
no.
TMZ's chat. That's funny. I'm looking at your
Yeah,
chat. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
I went on TMZ's chat. You sure you damn
They,
Skippy
I
ID.
know they turned. I know they was like this.
Especially when
It's
Harvey
time to
was
get. It's
sitting
time to send
there.
me hell.
Like, okay,
Was
come
he
on,
live?
guys. We could use, yeah, they were live. You could use,
He was
I've been
live.
coming
Did
up,
he say?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I got my notifications on because I want to be there in the chat just to
I ain't mad
bomb
at
them while they're live.
you. I love it.
So I can just like put comments out there, like boom, in real time, like caught you slipping, caught you lying.
Oh, I can create the
Um,
poll for you. I
oh
can do
God,
it on
not
here.
checking.
So go ahead. Do you want me to? What's the poll or what question or what do you want? Yes or no? Like I can do it
Do
right here.
you
Go ahead.
believe that the Jigga Man really got his chain stolen? Do you believe the Jigga Man was robbed? That's the poll. Mm-hmm. Yep, 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 yep. Mm-hmm. That's what I need. See, you did it. How did you get to do it? I don't get to do it.
In the what I'm letting y'all know is what I'm letting you know on the desktop or laptop. Boom. That's how you do it. So when you got this set up, so just
Oh.
have you got the laptop, set it up. Boom. You can do it that way. So yeah, the poll is in.
Hmm.
Everybody. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Y'all
it's
vote.
funny. You're voting faster than you're liking.
Y'all hit the like button and y'all definitely
Please
vote.
hit the like button. Like
Vote.
seriously, we're almost at 30
Vote.
minutes. We should definitely be at least 500 likes by now, especially considering how
Vote
many
or
people
die.
in the room.
Vote. Vote. Vote.
Like I just want to know how many of y'all actually believe that crap.
I'm not buying it. Cat. I mean, the story is very. It's a very incredible story. It like if okay, Vegas number
No,
one.
no, no. Listen to me, Tom Cruise. That's my first. That's that. That's yeah. I'm saying if it's real, Tom Cruise did it.
Mission Impossible. Like he was. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what
Tom
they
Cruise
said.
could
He
do
came, showed up. The thief
it
showed up, black tie,
with, with the help of the Scientologists. Boom. There it is right there.
black tie, and then got the chain off of his neck or out of the room. They're not sure where it got stolen from. But they know that this thief stole it, and then he was able to get away very fast, and then get into the getaway car. It had to be Tom Cruise.
The way
It
Vegas is
had to
laid
be
out.
Tom Cruise.
But there's cameras everywhere in Vegas. Like you're
Everywhere.
not getting away with nothing. Back in the day, the Tupac Pow Pow, I get it.
Not really, because there
But
were cameras. That's there were
what we
cameras
talked about.
even then. But we did it. We
No,
did.
I
We
know,
talked about it.
I know, I know, and I'm saying because I mean there were cameras when Suge and them was beaten. You know, so back
Mm,
then though, I'll give them a little bit of grace. They can get away with it. Now, come on now,
not
there's
now.
cameras everywhere. You would
Not
have
now.
found that chain in a matter of a few. Like you wouldn't have that person wouldn't have been able to hit
They wouldn't have made it out of
215,
the arena. They
15,
wouldn't have made it out
40,
of the parking lot.
or north. Nah, that don't make no sense.
And considering for it to be who it was that they said got robbed, welcome to all 1K in the room. But seriously, we could get more people in the room if we
Hit the
had
like,
more
y'all. Hit the like.
likes. Like
Please.
y'all gotta
Hit the
stop
like
being
button.
so selfish with the content. Y'all gotta share. Y'all gotta share. Hit the like, double tap the screen. But and salute to all of our new subscribers and salute to all of our new members. For anybody who would like to participate in the chat, we are a members driven community. So our members, they're the ones that you see. That's why everyone is either green or blue, it's either a member or ranch. If you would like to communicate in the chat, talk with everybody here, be a part of it, ask a question, whatever have you, all you got to do is become a member. Um, it, it was pinned, but we'll get back to that after this. Considering the people
What
that
was
we have in the
then?
room, I'm gonna publish at 400 votes. But come on,
Okay.
we short like 145 likes to 500. We just need 145 more likes. That's
Oh,
it for now.
maybe I gotta unpin that and then
No,
pin this.
don't unpin anything. Let the vote stay there because I want to know what people think.
Okay. Well, one
I
one
want
of
to
yours,
know.
I I'm sorry.
I want to know. Mm,
Adrian Jones. Is that Adrian
mm.
Jones? Welcome to Jag Nation.
Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, no, seriously. Like, I want to know what people think. I want to know if people think this stuff is as ridiculous as we know it is, or if people are really buying it. You know, because for them to sit there and keep playing in people's faces and keep lying to people and keep trying to make people believe, creating these sympathy stories. I wish that the story about the judge saying that Ramir wasn't going to have to pay any legal fees, I wish that story got more traction.
Well, see that's what I'm saying. Like
Oh, and
when they're
salute to all of the content creators, especially the ones who called him a Timu son. I don't
yeah.
understand why he had to why he don't have to pay. Well, why did he withdraw? I don't understand. Like all of y'all are about to learn the value of learning how to ride your own male orifice. Like stop jock riding all of these rappers and all of these weirdos. Like seriously, it's embarrassing. We need 110 likes to get to that 500. I'm
Yeah.
serious. Like it's
Yeah.
embarrassing. You sat there and disrespected a whole nother human being in their plight because somebody allegedly paid you to do an interview so that you could take the interview and turn around and run down on that person, all for you to get disappointed because even the judge, even the judges now ain't really falling for the okey doke when it comes to the Carters. Like it's just kind of pathetic.
Yeah. What
You
see the
know,
only thing I
how
was gonna
many people
say,
have to come and jump up in your comments and tell you exactly how they're unsubscribing and how they've lost respect for your platform because you have no integrity left anymore? Mm, but who cares, right? Go off. You was gonna say I'm sorry. Hmm.
no, don't be sorry. All I was gonna say is I find it um ironic when there's so many disagreeable negative stories out about
Hmm.
Rock Nation, Jay-Z, or whomever.
Hmm.
Every time there's a negative story out, there's this sympathy story on the flip side. There's a
Right
lot
after.
going on. A lot going on last week when they were in Atlanta with Rock Nation, with Desiree, with a lot, and then
Hmm.
Beyonce got stuff stolen from her
Hmm.
this week. A lot more. The Ramirez, lots of stuff coming out, but they counter it with
Sympathy
something.
stories.
Sympathy story. It's not coincidental.
Never feel
That's
sorry
that's
for people that have planes.
huh. Yeah, no.
If they still got a private jet, don't feel sorry for them.
Yeah, it's very, very, very just coincidental, ironic, but
No, it
there's no
isn't.
irony
Not
there.
if you're manipulating the media. Not if you're wagging a dog. Not if you're paying to control the narrative and the
Yeah,
information.
yeah. The funny thing is
Mhm.
even my Google alerts, because I have Google alerts for
Mhm.
certain news. There's certain people that I'm looking for. I mean, Diddy,
Mhm.
Jay Z, Madonna. There's
Mhm.
certain people that I listen for, and the only thing that came up about Jay last week was him on the bike in the Hamptons. Nothing else. I didn't see anything else in like news. Like I'm talking about Associated Press, any even Hindustani Times, people stuff like that. Nothing.
Who cares about him riding a bike in the Hamptons? Isn't that what they do with Jennifer Lopez? Isn't that all that Jennifer Lopez does when she's in the Hamptons, ride bicycle?
I guess. I
What is up
guess.
with all of this bicycle riding and being caught by the paparazzi riding a bicycle? Is there some kind of like underground railroad movement to
I don't
elderly
know.
people
And it
riding
and, it, and, it's, and it's the
bicycles?
motorized bikes. It ain't like
Yeah, yeah, he
the
was riding an electric bike. So it's not
it
like
ain't
he
like
was
the
really
10 speed.
putting, yeah,
Right. Yeah.
not
Kind
really
of cheap.
exercising.
Nah.
Well, I mean, a lot of stuff that's surrounding the Carters these days all seems to be based around fraud. But this is the thing. You got Don Lemon, who was supposed to be, and I really didn't run down on Don Lemon, like, and I used to like Don. Like, I was glad that we had Don at CNN. I was glad that, Mhm. And then he ran afoul, and then he fell off. He little Nas X'd it. He came out the closet, and then they turned on him. Exactly, without security, as if. But don't forget, this was a supervillain that stole his chain. He came dressed, black tie, and was sprinting like Jesse Owens after he snatched that chain. Off a neck or off a table, who knows? Who's able to and then jumped into the car, the getaway car, as it pulled away. And none of that was caught on camera. Now, this is the thing. If he left it in a room, it would have had to have been in a private area where you would have needed clearance. You would have needed a badge or a laminate or a key fob or something in order to get back into that area. And guess what? Areas like that are all filmed. Even if in the
Oh yeah.
room where the chain so called was, didn't have any
And they're
cameras in it for
filmed
privacy reasons. Everything in the hallway.
and they're filmed for security purposes and
Mhm,
insurance pop like it's a reason. Yeah.
mhm. Where did Jay Z get robbed? At his wife's concert, the last night, the night that Destiny's Child showed up, the night that they came to do a little positive press
You,
because
I
everybody.
no, I figured it out. I figured it out. Michelle took the shit.
Why?
Michelle Williams, because Michelle
Christian,
Williams,
the little Christian
because
girl,
well, she took it. She the one that took it.
the
That
little
that that
Christian
that's
girl
the that's
that got mentioned in early Diddy trial proceedings, and her name got wiped away real fast.
mm,
Everybody forgets about that.
mm,
Her name actually got mentioned
mm,
early.
mm.
And then, isn't that interesting though, considering that we're now finding out that there was so many things that were kept out of the trial? So many things. Evidence, names, video recordings, receipts. deets left out. And it's funny because now that sentencing time is coming, the judge is starting to have a lot more to say. A lot more to say. You know, Maureen Comey, her dad, being loyal to the Dems. Even Trump said so when they were asking him about what happened with him and Diddy, if they were cool. And he was like, we used to be cool. And then the second that I started running, all of a sudden he had a lot of terrible things to say about me.
Mm.
So apparently, Diddy was loyal to the Dems. Comey, her father, loyal to the Dems. And then them jurors. Woo! There's a lot going on there. A lot going on there. But, you know, I told everybody he's not getting out. I told everybody he's not getting a pardon. Ain't nobody want to believe me. Nobody want to. So we sit back and we let y'all bring your mouths. But I don't know. Like, when are y'all finally gonna get it? I'm not joking. When I tell y'all God said no, I mean God said no.
Mm.
That's what it is. 444 on the likes. Thank you very much. Now we just need, what is that, 64 more? Oh my God.
64. Okay.
Yeah, 64 more will do. But thank you for the 444 in the room. And thank you for the little floating heart. Appreciate you. Let's get serious.
Mm.
Let's get real. The jail. The thing that tripped me out was I'm sitting in the TMZ chat and they're talking about he's in there being threatened, and I don't see how it's fair. Do you know how many men you can find getting on a plane with a prostitute going somewhere? They're not in jail, but Diddy's in jail. Like, he actually said that. Harvey actually said that.
Wow.
Do you know how many
Wow.
men you can find with a prostitute going somewhere? And
Wow.
Diddy's being threatened. He's being this. You want to know what a lot of people forget on what happened on the first day of trial for Diddy? Tory Lanez was poked up 14 times on that first day of Diddy's trial. A lot of people forget about that. First day of jury selection, Pierce Morgan tried to ambush Kanye because Kanye was pro Diddy for whatever reason. And Kanye walked out on that was the first day of jury selection, first day of trial, and I would know because we were there. And we remember when we heard the reports that Tory Lane had just been poked up and was being rushed to the hospital. And guess what? After he finished recovering, they took him right back to jail. If Tory got to stay in jail for getting poked up and he can't get a compassionate release, why does Diddy need to get out for a threat? Many
Mm.
people is he threatened? Interesting. So everybody's life is worth more. Well, his life is worth more than everybody else's. I don't know. I thought it was really nice though. Somebody actually liked my comment because I put that in the TMZ chat.
Yeah, I saw it.
hmm So Tory got to stay in jail after he gets his life threatened, like for real, like you know what I'm saying, like Oz style, like, and he got to go back to jail. But did he? And then he's complaining about the food, and he's got maggots in his meals. Come on. And salute to Ms. Lowdown because you're absolutely right. As much money as he got, still, thank God to that Rico. Thank God the RICO got taken away, because if he had gotten hit with the RICO, the government would have been able to come in and seize all of his money, and then he would have been forced to eat them state meals. But because he only got busted for the 2 counts of the Mann Act, he still gets to hold on to some of his money, and so that he doesn't have to spend on legal fees and this and that and root de root and yada yada. Um, but regardless of all of that, he has enough money to eat off commissary. He don't need to eat state meals. So at this point in time, they're literally sitting here just creating every little big baby. He's got to eat jail food. The jail food is maggots. He's so uncomfortable. He's this, he's that. You know how many times these Illuminati fools have set me up and put me on cases, and I was forced to go to jail and I had to sleep and very uncomfortable. You know what? Nobody cared about when it happened to me. I got legitimate health stuff going on with me. I got scoliosis. That stuff is not good for me. A bad night's sleep is a bad day's life for me.
Yeah,
Like, so what? So what? People sitting there, I mean, it's all kind of wild stuff going on. All kind of wild stuff going on, but it's just funny. It's all of this coddling, all of this lying, all of this coddling, all of this lying. But I think the thing that bothered me more than anything was the TMZ reporting of today altogether. Remember when I reached out and I was just I'm like mm. We almost at 500 likes. I'll feel a lot more comfortable with moving forward with the commentary once y'all can you know get us to at least that. I mean, at least 500 likes. We've been here for a little bit.
you're gonna
No, but serious.
you're gonna announce the or in the poll or at 500. Okay,
Oh, I guess we'll do it at 500. We
okay.
can end the poll at 500. No,
So
but
far, where we're
seriously.
go ahead.
Seriously though, it's like, so I'm sitting there and I'm watching Harvey Leviathan, Harvey Little Hands, man, scary, carny, circus hands.
Hmm.
I guess that's why he thinks it's cool for him to do magic tricks with the facts, because he's definitely doing magic tricks with the facts, like definitely. Um. Okay, great, we made it. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, like I was saying, they were getting ready to do the report on Diddy and the response to his bail package, his new bail package. Very troubling for me, that whole situation. Because once the news came out and the judge made it clear that he was not granting bail, Harvey started throwing like a temper tantrum. They had the cameras rolling. I think they were ready because they were like ready to announce that Diddy was going to be going home. And the only way a so-called news conglomerate like shows that kind of emotion is if they were thinking it was going to be something different. Now you got to understand, I'm right, and I know I'm right, but we'll say it's alleged. In my opinion, allegedly, TMZ has been working with YouTubers and has been working with a bunch of other different media outlets to manipulate public perception of this trial. And I mean, they've done a hell of a job. They've spared no expense with the lies, with the this, with the that. And it was so funny. And he was like, "Yeah, well, don't worry about the woman. Don't worry about talking about the woman. That's irrelevant now." And I got a good feeling who that woman was. The woman that they were talking about, the woman was Gina, Goofy Gina, the biggest goofball of all times. Who've been running around for years, mad that Young Miami was making fun of her, calling her an eater, and talking about how stupid she is, and talking about what a see you next Tuesday she is, and how she was mad that Diddy had more respect for her, and how if she wanted, Diddy would have her on her knees eating out. Y'all got to remember, this is the Gina we're talking about, the one that was going back and forth with Young Miami because she had been around, freaking off longer, waiting to get her spot, waiting to be, because I think at one point in time, Gina thought she was going to replace Cassie. And I think she's so far gone that she thinks that caping for the diddler now and lying to the judge and writing letters and all of this stuff. And apparently, I don't even know. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not true. She didn't even write the letter, someone wrote it for her. She just signed her name on it. I have no idea. I have no idea. But whatever the case may be, this goofy hoe really still was holding out hope. Oh, we can publish the poll now. Do you
Okay.
believe that the Jigga Man got robbed? What are our results? 68% says
68%
no.
no.
Well, that be that. And thank you for hitting the like. 68% said no, just like God said to Diddy's bail. And that was 534 votes. Yeah. And you know what? Salute. Salute to you, 68, almost 69%. Yeah. Salute to y'all. Because
68, and we owe you one.
that's how stupid they think people are. They think that people are just gonna believe. And the truth is there's a lot of stupid people out there that do believe it. And I'm sorry to the 31% of you who do believe it. We're gonna pray.
I mean,
We're gonna
people are
pray.
so they,
We're gonna pray
they
for you.
they can have their opinion. They can,
I mean, I don't know if
But
it's
the
having an
question
opinion
should be
because is
why?
it is it
Why?
if you're believing a lie, is it you having your
Yeah,
opinion
why?
or you just agreeing with someone else's?
It's called cognitive dissonance, right? Like where
Cognitive dissonance?
cognitive dissonance. I'm sorry.
Mm,
Blame my English teacher.
okay.
Yeah, y'all know what cognitive dissonance is.
Well, why don't you break it
A lot of
down?
that.
Why don't you say it? What would it be called in lay terms, in hood terms?
The way my education level is looking right now. Now, so it's almost like where you
Mm,
had people who were in a cult, and this one cult told their members, the world's going to end, there's going to be this big flood, or there's going to be this spaceship coming, and blah, 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 on this day. And then the day come, and no, it doesn't, spaceship don't come, world don't end, no flood. But you have people who are still with that cult. They're still hardcore, like, no, you know what? It was maybe the date was off, blah, blah, blah. When it's like, come on, y'all, the jig is up. Majority of people with sense will be like, come on, y'all, this some BS. The jig is up. It's not happening. I mean, that's the best way that I could describe it. So you got people that are still with the celebrity worship, and they still just they can't let go. They can't let go of this, because they aspire to be like Jay and Beck. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
but why? They don't know anything about their life. They don't know anything about what they got going on. They don't know anything about all the stuff that comes along with everything that they're doing. They don't know nothing about these people. And that's the thing that always bothered me about society at large is exactly how like gullible people are into believing that this lifestyle and these people and like they want to believe the hype. They want to believe the bullshit. I'm telling you right
Yeah,
now, it
yeah,
sucks. Celebrity life
yeah.
sucks. Everything that comes along with it sucks. I'm telling you right now, all of the stuff that you get, all of the perks, all of the this, all of the that, it comes at a very high price and it comes with a great level of expectation. Expectation that you are never going to be able to get around because the people that are supplying you with all of the things that people see, they're the ones that are really in control. Like that's why everyone in the game treated me so wild. That's why they treated me so crazy. That's why they looked at me so sideways because they like, yo, you got the golden ticket, you got the voice, you got the this, you got the that, you got the boop, you got the boop, and all you got to do is say yes.
Hmm.
All you got to do is say yes. All you got to do is agree. And even now, to this day, there are people that are still hoping that I will get tired of doing what I'm doing and being the way that I'm being. So I'll just agree and go along. Even now. Because the truth is, somebody like me, hmm, I would, man, what I would be able to do for the wrong side would be miraculous. And not only that, the day that I stopped believing in God, if I were to ever go back to that other side, think about all of the people that will follow me or that they will hope would follow me.
Or
You
they know
know,
will follow you.
yeah, that's why I tell everybody right now, if you ever see me saying stuff or doing stuff that ain't looking like me, ain't sounding like me, until you come and sit with me and you hear it from me, please believe that it has been AI manipulated. Please believe it is artificial intelligence because that's what they got people out here doing now. Like it's
Yeah,
wild.
they got whole AI celebrities. Um,
Like people aren't paying
oh,
attention to how real this is. And all of the haters and the liars who be hating on me and lying on me here online and stuff like that. Oh, Jag says everything is AI. Jag says everything is AI. You want to know what's sad? That's not that far from true.
oh
At
no.
least 60% of most of what we see is artificially intelligence manipulated now. Like most of the commercials that you're now watching, and when you see these ads that pop up on your channels and stuff like that, they're all AI generated, G. They're not even real people selling you stuff. I mean, it works out good for the industry because the truth is they ain't gotta hire nobody. That's why you see a lot of these actors and stuff like that coming to social media now. That's why you see a lot of them doing a lot of the things that they're doing because they're not getting acting jobs no more because they don't need people anymore. They scan and scan and scan and scan and scan and scan and scan, and then they generate their own people. And all they got to do is type in what they wanted to say. The best actor in the world. You ain't got to feed them. You ain't got to pay them. You ain't got to worry about no union. You ain't got to worry about no strike. You ain't got to worry about nothing, G. All you need is that image. Exactly, Michael. Like for real. Like I don't think people are understanding. Y'all should look at your news sometimes and just look at the newscasters and ask yourself, did they show up to work today? Or is that their avatar working for them? Like, I don't think people really understand, you know? But hey, 555. Thank you. Um, and please keep liking. I'm glad that we made it to the 500, but the more we get, the further we go. But seriously though, like I don't think a lot of these people realize How many studios are about to start generating AI movies where none of the characters are going to be real people? They're going to be all AI characters. Like that's coming. It's coming a lot faster than a lot of people are willing to accept. And that's why most of these actors are sitting here. I think that's what happened with Taraji. I think she went over there to Bali and she sat down there with the weirdo Russell Simmons and he told her, he was like, we got you scanned. Now you can go back over there, sit with Tyler, do whatever we tell you to do, and say whatever we tell you to say, or we just scan you. We had you working 24/7. Now, do you want it to be you, or should we go with our version? I mean, that's the crazy thing about AI. For all of the good that it can do equally, if not more, harm. Hmm. Yeah, people gonna be out of jobs. People are already running out of jobs, and I swear to God, every time I go outside and I'm forced to go shopping in any way, I'm like, oh wow, it must be easy to get these people to lie online. Like it's got to be easy. The price of groceries, the price of everything is so damn high now. Yeah, like inflation. Inflation alone is enough to get society to cooperate with the agenda. Like it's bad. Here in the United States, yeah, food, man. Meanwhile, you got people running around lying about getting robbed so that they can get insurance checks. It's but yeah, anyway, back to Little Hands. Little Hands Harvey. So what I was really paying attention to in real time was how they were about to manipulate the Diddy getting out of jail story because they've been selling Diddy getting out of jail for days now. I mean, for days they've been selling it. Where is it? Here we go. Diddy getting out. Now, this was a headline from just a couple days ago.
They should be embarrassed.
They were selling this, they were pushing this narrative. They were hoping it was going to, yeah, yeah, after the pandemic and the booster jabs and all of that. Yeah, a lot of people's health is declining a lot faster. Look at him, got him walking out. They literally photoshopped this picture to have him walking out of MDC. Combs buys his way out of jail, is what it said. Like it's wild. They literally thought they were gonna wish this crap into existence. But then again, that's what they've been doing. Look at the two of them together. They look like bosom buddies. Which one is Tom Hanks?
Jay
No, but
Jay
seriously.
Zena, that is funny.
But they
Jay
were doing
Zena,
this. They was working this. They really thought that crap with Gina was gonna work. They really thought that was gonna work. Gina the eater, Gina the
mm,
idiot, Gina to this, Gina to that. I guess Carisha ain't saying nothing. She just sitting there, sitting up in her room, hoping that she stay on the payroll. She might not be getting 500K a month, but she getting enough money to be quiet. Everybody's getting enough money to be quiet. Gina, all you got was a car. And now I think they're about to start looking into jury tampering and evidence tampering. I think that's about to become a thing for this judge in this case. I do. I do. because the truth is some of those jurors they need to be investigated. And if they did anything intentionally, if they find anything that looks suspicious, I hope they all go to jail right along with Diddy.
Hmm.
Carisha better go see a doctor. What makes you think she cared? Like that's the thing that's tripping me out. That of all of the stuff we heard that happens in these freak offs, and we know that Carisha was sitting there posting herself up. And let's just say that the freak offs were just reserved as a swingers, whatever the case may be, for Mr. Combs and his girlfriends. We know Carisha was definitely a girlfriend.
Hmm.
He was still busy thanking Cassie at the BET Awards while she was sitting there with her homemade handboard talking about go daddy, go daddy. He ain't even mention her name. She's sitting there like an idiot. She's sitting there on her show talking about how much she enjoys being peed on.
Hmm. Hmm.
Now we heard about where he likes to see the peepees to go. We heard about it. In the mouth, in the face, all over the place. She loved it though. That's what she said.
Yeah.
So, all that being said, here we are. Diddy's not getting out. But Harvey, he had it all set. He was so, man, we gotta change it now. We gotta change the story. We gotta do a whole nother story. Everything that we recorded, we gotta do it all over again. I want y'all to think about what I just said. He literally said at the beginning of the show, when the news came out, the judge was not granting bail. They had already recorded the show for Diddy getting out. Already recorded. And he was pissed off because now they got to do it all over again. And so then he sat there, no, but you don't understand. It is reasonable doubt. But it wasn't beyond a reasonable doubt. There was doubt. There was this, there was that, there was this. He was sitting there throwing a whole temper tantrum. Like it almost sounded like he was upset that the girl he wanted to take to the prom decided to go with his little brother because he's taller.
Damn.
And he's sitting up there trying to make every excuse possible. No, it's not that she didn't want to go with me. It's just that my brother is taller. She wants to wear high heels. Like,
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller.
oh my goodness. Like, it was sad. He sat up there and made, no, because the jury, why? Because you was working so hard on them during the trial? Like, I don't think people understand. They were working that trial, all of them. All of those YouTubers up there, their lying fucking asses. All of the TMZ people that was sitting there giving point to the YouTubers and the other content creators on what it is. Even from the first day that I got there. Mr. I got an interview first. Let me go first. Let me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think the jury's gonna buy it. Yeah, I don't think the jury. Yeah, no, 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 no. Yeah, I don't see this yet. He's gonna be acquitted. They were running that story from day one. That was the plan. That was what was going on. The jury was not sequestered. Those people were allowed to come and go every day. They were not being watched. They didn't have any security. Anybody could have walked up on them. Anybody could have sat next to them on the train on their way home, on the bus on their way home, an Uber shared ride on their way home. Anybody. I wonder if that idiot did not follow any of those jurors home.
I'm sure he did.
Hmm. Because Lord knows it was no accident that he crash test dummied on the Gene Deal to try to get Gene Deal arrested because Diddy wanted Gene Deal arrested for him being there.
Yeah.
He did that on purpose.
Yeah.
He did that on purpose. You want to know what I didn't like either? The witnesses that they had available to try to corroborate that story. One of those witnesses was that Secret Service Sam
That,
guy.
that, yeah. That weirdo.
Because he literally sat there and said, I saw him. I saw Gene Deal hit him. No, you didn't.
Mm-mm.
No, you didn't. But there was Johnny on the spot with that one because there wasn't even anybody around like that when that whole incident happened. And see, I know that they were staging shit because they did it to me while I was
Mm-hmm.
there.
You know what? Like you said, maybe we need to just start releasing that because I just looked on the computer. I'm like, oh yeah, I got all that. I got all that content. We just never
Like y'all need
did
to
anything.
see it. Like they literally had this guy try to crash test dummy his way onto me. And if it wasn't
No,
for the
he.
wall of security that I had around me,
Yeah,
it might have went a little
yeah,
different. It might
yeah.
have went a little different. But see,
Because
that's why
I
we
would
had the
have
security.
I would have had to give him a 2 piece, and then I would have
And
got
then,
hauled off and arrested.
yep, you would have got hauled off and
Because
they would have sat
I'm
up
the one that
there.
was. I was the one that was like, yo, you know,
And
yeah.
then I would have been in New York with you locked up. And then they would have, like, see how that goes? See how that goes? They stage and they orchestrate everything. They do. They do. And they do it intentionally to create. See, they wanted to have a Diddy whistleblower getting into trouble at the trial to send the message that this was the diddlers, you know, and how dare any of you people come up. There were other people that were going to come up too. But once again, like I said, all orchestrated, all orchestrated to try to convince the public that Diddy was going to walk. And I mean, they did a fine job because we talked to a lot of people in the real world from the second that this trial started, and there were so many people
See,
that were buying it. Oh, they're not going to
that
prove the case. They're not going to prove
that
there
is
is no RICO. There is no. That was
that
the point. What?
that is why. Yeah, I mean, we may need to just put that out because there were like you said, we were talking to real people, and
From
to
the
get their
jump.
consent. Yeah.
Oh, they're not going to prove a RICO case. That was the whole deal. Because, see, y'all don't
Hmm.
understand. Proving that RICO case hurts people like Jay Zeno over here, hurts people like Kanye West, hurts people like everybody. If Diddy had got busted on that RICO, it would have given them license to go after everybody he's consorted with, everyone, over the course of the
Well,
past
listen,
25 to 30 years.
somebody just dropped something and said Diddy threatened by inmate in Brooklyn jail,
Hmm.
and this happened.
Yeah, yeah, he got threatened.
Yeah.
All this
Just,
time, he
just like,
wasn't
just
getting
like,
threatened. No,
just
wait a
like,
minute. All this
just like Jay
time,
Z got it. Just like Jay Z got his chain snatched. I mean, don't do you see the convenience? How convenient?
this is about protecting the industry. This isn't just about protecting one man. They've already proven that they can convict one man of a RICO. They did it with Robert Kelly. They did it with R. Kelly. R. Kelly went down on a RICO all by himself. Nobody else was implicated. Yet he was friends with Diddy. He was friends with Jay-Z. He was friends with all of these people who were doing a bunch of stuff with him. They know how to make a RICO stick on one person. They knew if Diddy went down for the RICO, it wasn't going to go down on one person. Diddy was going to make sure he took everybody with him. And everyone knew that. So now here we are. Now here we are. They weren't protecting Diddy, they were protecting the system. They were protecting the Illuminati, the elites, the whatever you want to call them, the companies, the this, the that.
Hmm.
Anybody who could have created issue for that trial was touched, was threatened, something happened to them. All of the people that would, and this is what, but see, that's the problem with the media. That's what the problem is with the media. The media, it has the ability to confuse things and to do things and to flip things and to get people to see things differently so that they can do whatever they want to do in the backdrop and nobody believes nothing.
Well,
Now we
not
got
to
Albie Shore coming forward saying that he has evidence that Diddy has been manipulating the media, especially regarding his wife, Kim Porter, because I think people keep forgetting Kim Porter and Albie Shore were married. That wasn't his girlfriend. That wasn't his baby mom. That was his wife. Something that she never
Mhm.
was for Diddy. She was never nothing more than a baby mom. She was never anything more than a paramour. And every time she tried to leave, he would do something. You know, her pushing Albie Shore away to try to keep him safe because she knew exactly how dangerous Diddy was. The memoir that she had, that they got pieces of, and they took and they miscued and they did this and they did that. And then people, the so-called friends that are speaking out, oh no, that never happened. Kim was never going to do this. He's a liar. Albie Shore is a liar. He's a deadbeat dad. He's a dead. They've been selling that story for years and none of it's true. None of it's true. It's all lies. And I'm telling y'all that. It's all lies. But they've been saying it so much in the media for so long. This man got in the way of a young married couple. He sold the woman, this dream. Kim was also a model. She wanted to be rich and famous too. Like, she was young. She realized, she realized what it was hitting for at the end. And look, Corey Gamble at her house when she passed away. She had friends talking about, oh, she was sick, but you didn't bother to make sure she got any medical care. If you saw how sick she was, why didn't you bother to make sure your friend got proper medical care? You don't have to die from lobar pneumonia. When you have the kind of money and access to the kind of money and healthcare that these people do, there's no reason why she should have passed away. Like, mm.
Mm.
But I tell you one thing though, you start talking about red rum and people being unalived, it starts making RICO a lot easier to prove. No wonder they didn't want Albie Shore anywhere near that courthouse for this trial.
I mean, they also did not bring up the Pow Pow GUs. It's a lot of stuff. I mean,
There was a lot of stuff that was left out. And that's
the
the other
kid,
thing that's
the kid,
sickening. No, but
there's a
that's the other
kid.
thing that's sickening. What?
The
What you
kids,
say?
remember,
Yeah, the little people. And and just the way that people like, going, oh well, the children said that never happened, and the children said, what would the children know? And more importantly, what would they be told not to say? I don't think anybody understands the way he's got their lives all fixed up. They can't survive without him. But all of these so-called friends that are coming out, speaking out against Albie, sure, they're all people that are loyal to Diddy, and they're all people that, if I am correct, and I do believe it's true, but we'll say allegedly for the sake of the channel, these are all people that have had their own little freak offs with the diddler, who got their own little special tapes. Truth is the one thing that Kim Porter found out at the end of her life is that there was nobody that was loyal to her. There was nobody around her that she could trust. Everybody had made some kind of deal in some kind of way. That's why when I first heard Kimura coming out trying to say something about Albert, I'm like, you should keep your mouth shut, considering who one of your baby daddies is, considering the kind of things that I've heard young men say about her, procuring, allegedly procuring young men for Russell to have fun with when he was sick and tired of playing with her because she didn't look like a little boy anymore. You know, allegedly. Like it's all of these people have a vested interest in keeping their skeletons in the closet, at keeping their dirty little secrets. Do you know what most of these entertainers and celebrities don't want the public to find out? How disgusting and how trifling and how nasty they are, and what they were willing to do for money. That's what they don't want. They don't want y'all seeing them for who they actually are. Not at all. It's not about them. Oh no, that's not true. He's a good person. Yeah. Anybody that could say that Diddy is a good person, anybody that could say that Diddy don't deserve nothing that he got going on, you need to be looking at them sideways. And anybody that can't speak out, like the simple fact that the Jigga Man, the only thing he could get his lawyer to say is, oh no, we were only work associates, we were never friends, whoopty whoopty woo. The reason why that was said is because that case with that autistic victim who was 13 at the time would have tied them into a full RICO. And guess what? Bye bye NFL. And there definitely wasn't going to be no meetings with the oversight committee boards for in Albany and New York to get no casino. That was definitely not happening. That was definitely not happening. These people do not want to be looked at for the piece of shit scumbags that they actually are. So they'll prop up a deviant. They'll prop up a demon in a heartbeat. Like, I don't see why people don't want to believe that or why people are having such a hard time seeing that. But now here we are. I'll be sure. Coming with evidence. Diddy paid the media to spin stories in his favor and to quash anything real that challenged his lies. How's that any different than what Rock Nation is doing with Demore Hadley and Javon Hadley? Or what any of these entities have done to me? Sticking YouTube on me to defame my name, to disgrace my name, to try to make me look all kinds of crazy so nobody will ever believe anything that I have to say. I appreciate the likes, but we could use 300 more. Like, y'all need to really look at how they play. I guarantee you, I bet you dollars to donuts that Harvey Levin is one of the people that have been spinning stories against Albie Shore. Guarantee you. For crying out loud, we just heard about how TMZ was involved in framing the narrative around Colin Kaepernick and Rock Nation ending the blackout strike against the NFL. We just heard about that by somebody who was there, who was able to give testimony and say for a fact that they know that Rock Nation has a direct line to Harvey Levin. Rock Nation able to call, get stories spun around. The Diddler able to call and get stories spun around. Like, I don't know, chime in here. Chime in with us for a second, Odell, because I'm like,
I'm just watching the YouTube streets while we're having this conversation.
oh
But
really?
just like I
Anything
said,
interesting going on out there?
well, I mean, just like this Captain situation about the robbery, you know, Diddy is being threatened in jail, but that's one thing. Um, I was you talked about the media. I was gonna say Trump got on Charlemagne the Fraud's neck, allegedly called him something.
When
So it's today. Yeah, today.
Trump had a sound bite for Charlemagne the fraud.
Trump called him something. Give me 1 second. Trump attacks Charlemagne the God after radio host.
Please don't say that.
Actually, this
This
is
Charlemagne the fraud.
after radio host
Charlemagne the fraud.
criticized his presidency. This is in the Associated Press.
Hmm.
Trump on Sunday lashed out at radio host Charlemagne, uh, saying I guess it was on True Social,
Hmm.
that Charlemagne knows nothing about me or what I've done.
Hmm.
Um, what else did he say?
See, he got too
He wrote
comfortable
that
with the
he,
Dems.
he wrote that Charlotte is a dope who voted for the Democratic Vice President Kamala Harris
Yeah, he did. After he embarrassed her. Don't forget, you
because
remember when she was doing her press junket and he went for her neck and he embarrassed the crap out of her?
yeah, he's gonna catch hell for that. They ain't gonna they don't forget they gonna get him because yeah he kind of made her look bad.
Yeah, well, he went out
Yeah.
of his way to do that. And that was, that was her little humiliation ritual. But see,
Mhm.
you do that with the Democrats. If he thinks he's going to do that with the Republicans, he's out of his mind. Don't nobody take him seriously like that. And what he better hope is that Megyn Kelly don't take offense to that or take that as, an open door. Because if Megyn Kelly decides to start, investigating his A minor charges, she might get to the bottom.
Yeah.
You know what?
I,
Maybe we should do that. Maybe I should go and I should pull up some of the old deets that I have about that little case that he has and send it to Megan Kelly.
let's leave it be.
I'll leave it be. But that would be a good one, though. That would be a good one,
Nah,
though, for somebody to take the
if
details
she
of his
if
very,
she
very, very nasty case and send it
if
to
that yeah
someone
if the
like a
victim no
Megan
if the victim,
Kelly.
well if the victim wanted to do an elaborate story and they reached out, then yeah, let's make it happen. But
That would be awesome if that victim decided, if that victim were watching us right now and decided that going to Megan Kelly and giving her story about Charlemagne the fraud.
mm.
Ooh.
Man, oh man,
Mm-mm-mm-mm. I got enough trouble on my hands. I'm advocating for Demore and Javon Hadley, but man, if Charlemagne's victim is watching right now, if someone would send her this video and maybe just, I think Megan Kelly would have a blast.
yeah, yeah,
All I
let's
can
leave it
do is
be.
wish. All I can do is
Let's leave
hope. This is me wishing, just like Harvey was wishing the diddler was going to get out of jail. This is me wishing. I'm not allowed to wish. Harvey can wish, but I can't.
You can wish all you want, but media manipulation is real.
Mm, very
Back
much
to that,
so.
and
Very much so. Very much
yeah,
so. You look at, you got your media takeout. You got your Breakfast Club. You got your TMZs. You got your Joe Button. You got your, like, I mean, when you look at all of these outlets and you look at the hundreds of millions of views that they generate week for week, imagine somebody paying all of those outlets to tell their story
yeah,
simultaneously.
yeah.
I want y'all to think about that because that's what we're talking about. We're
Yeah.
talking about mass media manipulation on such a high level. We know Joe Budden is bought and paid for. I know that for a fact. I do.
Shout out to Earl Sweatshirt. I wish I could play it. Joe Button is still mad at Earl Sweatshirt. I don't know if you know who he is. He's the one of the dopest cats. I ran into him at the 7-Eleven back day. Cool as hell. Dope spitter from Our Future. Um, and he did a skit
Hmm.
of Joe Button. He was playing Joe Button. And he had like the fake Beijing beard, and it was him, and he's supposed to be like loving hip hop and Tahari, and
Mm.
Tahari, he went to a whole little session. Tahari's supposed to be getting a divorce or something, and then the attorney, the guy was like,
Yeah, him
no,
and
it ain't.
Tahari, and then
No, no,
him
no,
and
listen,
Erica Mena,
no,
and then
listen,
him and Erica
listen,
Mena's little side
listen,
bitch, gay
listen.
girl, and yeah.
The joke was, it wasn't that his girl wanted to get a divorce; it was his beard that wanted to get a divorce.
Well,
and
yeah,
and that shit was funny as hell. And Joe Budden does not. He still ain't forgave. It's a joke. He still ain't gave
his
Earl
beard.
Sweatshirt.
You
He
don't see
said
the pun. You don't
exactly,
see the pun on pun action.
exactly. No, I get it. I get it. Of course. He says it's not your girl. It's your beard who wants to get a divorce. I love it. Like shout
Who
out
the
to whoever wrote
lady
that.
is? What lady? That's the diddler, and that's Jay Zena.
Who's the
That's
lady in
Jay
the picture?
Zena.
That's funny. No, no, no. But back to what you were saying
That's
about
Jigga Man. You got the
you
Jigga
know,
Man, and now you got Jigga Man.
damn. That's funny. The Jigga Man. God damn, that's funny.
No, but for real though, like
He looked like he finna spit Sheether.
you
Or
want to know what
no.
I find even more interesting? Honorable mention. Shout out to I think it was Ja Rule who ran up on Fat Joe for trying to sit there and run one of Big Pun's songs like it was actually his record.
Oh damn. Yeah. Fat Joe,
That was
Fat
that
Joe
was
can't
in
hold
bad
a candle.
taste. It
He
don't
can't
matter
hold a
how
candle
long.
to
It
um
don't matter how long Pun has been dead. You don't get to pump fake off of
he
his
still can't measure up.
lyrics.
Still can't measure up. Sorry. He still don't get a pass for when he went to Project Blow and got booed. That was hilarious.
I mean, he still don't get a pass for not repping harder for Pun and not working so hard to slump Pun in the backdrop and keep Pun on the back burner and then not even like hold up his legacy because there's so many young people that don't even know who Big Pun is. There's so many people who don't they know still not a player. They know, they know that stuff, but they don't know who he is. Just like they don't know who DMX is. There's a lot of stuff that people don't know no more. A lot of stuff. And it's sad because that was real hip hop. That's what real hip hop was
Mm,
all about. And they
mm.
they have erased everything relevant so that these weirdos can seem credible. And it's just kind of sad. And then they got all the
Let
corny
me say something.
goofballs, all the
Let
fucking,
me say something.
mm,
Let me say something.
mm,
Rakim dropped the 18th letter late '97.
mm.
Um, Camp Low, to me, set Uptown Saturday Night best hip hop album ever. I mean, no offense, it's perfectly crafted. It was like I can
No,
listen to that
Camp
album from
Low,
start to finish.
salute. Listen to me. I miss
Like
Geechee.
no offense
I
to
ain't seen
no offense
Geechee in a
to.
long time.
And I met I think I read I'm not Geechee. Who's the other cat? Not uh, his partner, but oh no, Ish actually. Just because Ish did that song with him, critiqued one of my joints, gave me love or whatever. But no,
Mm.
Camp Lo. I'm just talking about that era. The reason why I'm even mentioning that because I'm just like this was before really the internet was a thing. Like
Yeah.
'98 was like that
Right
perfect
before it broke.
era,
Right before the internet broke. Yeah.
right? That '98. So you had Pun come out, and
Yeah.
Pun was already hitting with the joint that he dropped with Beat Nuts off the books
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. He was
Mm-hmm.
killing it. He had a slapper that was dope, and then he dropped "I'm Not a Player." I
Mm.
remember when he came out here, L.A. killed it. I saw him in Goody Mob because Goody Mob just dropped that one joint, that one album they had. I forgot what they had. The Black Eyes touch what I never touched before, seen what I never seen before. Woke up and seen the sun sky high,
I
sky.
wish I
Yo,
remembered the
that
name of that person that
era.
came through and super chatted. And by the way, not a lot of people
Oh,
have super chatted,
ooh,
but we
hold on.
appreciate
I got you. I
Michael
got your
for super
names.
chatting.
I got the
Um,
names. Hold on. I got you.
but well, no, I mean he come through and he dropped something talking about Malik and thanking me for speaking up
Oh
about
yeah,
Malik
yeah,
and
yeah,
how
yeah. Oh, well,
they
that's
had
the
just
funny
seen
thing.
they had just seen Black Thought on the Fallon show spitting one of Malik's rhymes.
Well, listen.
Um,
I was.
no,
This the conversation.
mm,
This the conversation that I was leading up to. Listen
what?
to where I was going with this conversation because it's funny he mentioned that.
Mm,
Um, '98 was a great year. So I'm mentioning like albums that came right before '98, and then the
mm,
albums that were here in '98, and who we had. We had DMX. He dropped two dope ass albums
in
in
1 year,
'98 in one
that
year, right?
terrified the Jigga Man. That
I know
terrified him.
that same year Jay-Z dropped like one of the weakest albums he had. Was that In My Lifetime when he dropped that, or
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that because that was that was like everybody was looking forward to like, okay, what you
Well,
got
it was a
next, Jay? And he,
letdown. It was a
it
letdown
was a letdown.
because
Yeah, it was a letdown.
people. Well, I mean, people were still. The thing is reasonable doubt was a slow catch. It was a slow burn.
It was. It was.
It was
It
very
was.
slow. Actually, reasonable doubt didn't even really get any love until he had put out his third album. I was one of the
Right.
first people to like stand up on that album. Like I loved Reasonable Doubt because I loved a lot of the stuff that was, the way it was put together, the way it was crafted. And then I come to find out years later that the reason why is because of the people that he used to put it together, people that I had a lot of great respect for.
That's why I mentioned Camp
Um,
Lo. Um,
yeah,
uh,
but it's
look,
no, but see that's the thing. They have convoluted the history so much because they've been able to manipulate the media so much. So they've been able to
well,
erase
listen.
real things from history, add things that were never there, remix on top of remix on top of remix on top of lies. Hey, Maya, good
But
to see
Jag,
you,
listen.
sweetie. What?
Jag, listen.
What?
I'm mentioning '98, and shout out to the big homie Razzcast for dropping Razz Assassination that year. There were a lot of
Mm-hmm.
great albums that dropped that year. Jigga didn't have one. Um, but I say all that to say, and I'm not no offense. I give Jay Z his props. He's dope when he's dope.
This
But
is the thing.
now,
Is he
no,
dope
no,
or
wait,
does
wait,
he
hold on,
know how
hold
to
on,
be a
hold on,
curator of
hold
dope?
on, hold on. Now someone's come forth and said, and I forget who it was. I'm gonna find out who it was. They had the nerve to say Black Thought is better than Jay Z. That's the conversation that's going on right now. And I get where they're coming from because Black Dot is dope, but
You talking
now,
about
now
Black
that
Thought from the Roots?
yes, they're saying he's better than Jay Z. This is the conversation that's talked about right
I
now.
mean, technically, he is.
No, yeah, but
Technically, he is, but not because he's better than Jay Z, because he was jacking somebody that was better than the both of them.
there you go.
Malik B in Militant ripped the both of them niggas dead off their asses. I mean, when I think about all of the times that Malik would be high out of his mind and wander through the studio and end up back in the B room, and he would turn on the mic and he would just go freestyle, rhyme for rhyme, line. line for line, just his ability. They never told him that they were recording. They recorded everything he did. And then they would sit there after he would leave and they would pick apart his rhymes and use them for their own songs and never once give Malik B the credit. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being so dope that you sitting there listening to your people's records on the radio, talking about how hot it is and forgot that it was yours to begin with? Can you imagine being that amazing
Oh
that you
God.
forgot how dope you are in moments of levity, just off your ass high?
Oh
Yeah,
God.
like when I think about mm, when I think about Lamont Coleman, hmm, what would hip hop be like? Yeah, no,
If
don't
if
feel
I don't
bad. Don't feel
if
bad,
I
Mariner.
didn't
There's no reason. If you don't remember something, it's not your fault. It's not your fault if you don't remember someone. You know what I mean? That's like feeling bad about, not remembering a terrible one night stand. Like, Jesus, don't be sorry for that. Clearly it wasn't memorable. I'm sorry. Was that too real? Am I keeping it too real? Hmm. He looks better as a woman. Yeah, go figure. If you're not a threat to the devil, he ain't gonna waste his time effing with your life. Salute to DMX. Malik
I'm
was
about
every
to
kind of beast there was in the world.
I'm about to fuck your head up.
Are you gonna play something? What is that? What is that?
Is this real?
That shit ain't real.
Is it real? No,
That's
they
AI.
no, they saying that Jason Lee and Tiffany Haddish had a baby.
You know what? That shit ain't real. That's AI. And I'm sitting there looking like I know that's not Jason Lee. Sure enough, it is. Goodness. See, that's AI. That's AI. Well, I mean, she said she wasn't dating black men anymore.
I don't think that's AI.
That's AI.
I don't. Is this true?
That's AI.
Okay, it's not confirmed. I said, wait, what? What in
But
the
see, that's the
world?
thing. That's the thing. Look, just like this picture with Diddy. They had it all set up. He was getting out. But no, I mean, we're gonna get ready to wrap up in a second, but let's just it's on the internet, so it must be true. That part. No, but that part, matter of fact, let's wrap it up right there.
Yeah,
That part.
that's a good way to end it.
It's on the internet, so it must be true. That's so real for so many people. Hmm.
Yeah. After this, so just like I can remember that year of 1998
Hmm.
really being that. Well, they say so. They say this. They say most people will say the best time in music for them was when they were 17.
Mm.
Um, which yeah, I'm like, you're right. That's why I mentioned 97, 90. Well, I wasn't 17. I was about, 16, 17, 18, 97, 98, around there, right? Um,
In
but I mentioned
1998, I was 21.
you were grown as hell. I was just now getting on my own. Well, 90, I was on my own in 97. Yeah, after I got out of high school, I was on my own. But uh, 98 was a year where it's like I can remember being introduced to the internet really around then, and then hip hop was still so at least to the point it was still
I
good
didn't
and
trust the
pure.
internet. I thought it was weird.
No, no,
I
no,
thought it was weird.
and it was, and it was. Now listen, we're gonna
Like
look
people
back
tried to
at
get
this
me on
year.
MySpace, and I had a
Well,
MySpace
you
account.
talking about way later. You talking about
I
way
had
later. I'm
an
talking about
AOL
98.
account.
I
I
had an
had an
AOL
AOL
account, right?
account. Like,
But this is the year where
mm,
people are gonna look back and be like, okay, yeah, the internet used to be. And then this is the year where it's like, yeah, you look at the internet, you can't believe, like you can't believe it right now. But in next year and the year after, you really can't look at the internet and be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's real. The internet is gonna be like a damn cartoon.
it already is. The problem
It's
is
already there. Yeah,
it's like believing that Tom and Jerry was real, or you
or
know,
believing in wrestling. That wrestling is real.
yeah, like but it's sad how many people actually believe it. And what you got to realize is that evil sons of bitches like this guy here, they know that people believe whatever they see, and they keep investing and they keep investing and they keep spending the money to do it. You gotta you gotta ask yourself, what do you really believe? You know, like I'm curious to know what Harvey and them had cooked up for their story before they got their feelings hurt and God said no and they had to change everything. Like
They
y'all can
literally
go and
said
see it.
they literally said that.
They literally said, "Oh, don't worry about the woman. Just forget the stuff about the woman. It's not important now. It's irrelevant now." You got to ask yourself that. What were they going to say until they were forced to have to tell the truth? And even still, they were still trying to flip it and fricassee it and remix it to make it seem like it wasn't as bad. I mean, I thought he was only going to get like 1 or 2 years. He's probably going to get 4 years. Like, that's what he was selling. What makes you think that? What makes you think that? What makes you think that he's not going to get consecutive? What makes you think it's going to be concurrent? What makes you think it's going to be that small? And see, a lot of people forget this is the danger of Harvey Little Hands Leviathan. He's actually a lawyer.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget that about him. He's actually a lawyer. He's a lawyer. So he understands how to manipulate the law. That's what makes him so good at manipulating the media because he knows how to manipulate the law. He knows how to manipulate words. He knows how to dance on the fine line of, we could almost get sued. You know what? Hold on a second. There was something that I wanted to check before we go. Um, what is it? Is it Two Angry Men or the Angry Men podcast?
Angry Man is Valdez. It's probably not that. Shout out to Angry Man. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson.
No, Two Angry Men. Two Angry Men.
Two Angry Men. Okay.
Yep. And this is what I was telling you about. Two Angry Men is a weekly podcast hosted by Harvey Levin and Mark
Uh,
Garagos.
yeah, yep, that's it. That's it.
And let's not forget one of Diddy's defense lawyers is Mark Garagos' daughter.
Yeah.
So I want y'all to think about that. One of Diddy's lawyers, her father, does a podcast with Harvey Levin, and they all have legal background. You got Mark Agnafilo in there, who's Mr. I'm gonna sweet talk you to death and get you to see my side. Meanwhile, if Mark Agnafilo had never just said that, really, this isn't a RICO case. This is a domestic violence case. And my client is, he's violent. Yeah, he likes smacking a bitch. You know, thank God for that spin because that made it possible for the judge to be able to stand 10 toes down while they finish going through everything. Like, I don't think people understand. You have lawyers who are manipulating the law. You have lawyers who are manipulating the media. You have lawyers who are sitting here giving advice to podcasters on YouTube, telling them exactly how far they can go with a story and with a spin without having to be too legally. Da, 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 da. You got
Walking that line.
this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. And people are literally believing whatever they say. So you know what? I want to do another poll before we go.
Okay.
Do you believe? I'll be sure. I want to see that. I want to see who believes and who doesn't believe. I'll be sure. Let's do one last poll before we go.
It jumped to 50-50 right away. Oh my God.
What do you believe? Do you think this man is lying? And shout out to his book. Do you believe me now?
Mm.
What a fitting title. Because for many years, no different than me, he's been being called all kinds of crazy, called all kinds of wrong. He's lost his life nearly 3 times. Um, I want to know. I want to
And
know.
shout out to you because you'll be getting your 100K plaque soon. Trust me. I say within the next month or two.
I hear what you're saying,
They
but
really gonna be mad.
I'm not going to hold my breath on it
Oh, of
because
course not. I hear you.
I might make it to 100K, but they ain't going to try to give me no plaque. That's not going to happen. And the
I'm gonna
truth
make sure they
is,
give you a plaque.
I listen to me. Al ain't no punk. That's for sure. That's a strong ass, grown ass black man. He is. He's a good soul. He's a good soul. He's a loving soul. But it's been hard for him. It's been a rough road. And everything with Quincy. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Jack on a piece of you too.
I mean, the truth is
Look,
I've made them enough money. I've made them enough money. They've made a,
Jack,
a ton of money off of me. And I want to thank
Jack, there's so
everybody
much.
for those who did super chat tonight. Appreciate you. You know,
There's so much. there's so much fake stuff out there when everybody realized that majority of YouTube is being ran by bots and they're looking for like real stuff. That's why YouTube came with those guidelines saying you got to show your face, you got to do this because if you just let it run wild, YouTube will just be ran by AI, and it's pretty much ran by AI right now. But they'll be looking for um, what was that place Zion in the Matrix on the
Mm.
internet. Everything on the internet is fake, but people are going to really be looking for real people real soon on the internet. And I guarantee you, don't get it twisted. That's why, like I said, that's why I got my tech channel. We might have that app. We might have that server where it's like, here's Zion. The real is here.
Well, I mean, that's the
Um,
thing. I really don't think people understand how fake all of this is and how many lies are being manufactured as truth on a day-to-day basis. I don't think y'all realize. And that's dangerous because a lot of people believe whatever they see. A lot of people believe whatever's here. They just believe it. They don't question it, question everything. And do yourself a favor when you realize that it's a possibility that something ain't real. Don't argue with yourself about it. Just get it confirmed so you can give yourself that
yep.
peace of mind. Um, Sophia Stewart was right when she said that they've destroyed our minds. They have. There used to be a time where having a strong mind was respected, and now it's considered a threat. Why is that? Why do we all have to believe the same bullshit? Why do we have to all fall for the same banana in the same damn tailpipe? Why do we have such a hard time just dealing with what's real?
Well, nowadays, why is it nowadays being real and speaking truth is revolutionary when it should just be?
Yeah. And isn't one of Diddy's lawyers responsible for abusing the Hadleys as well? No, not one of Diddy's lawyers. Rock Nation lawyers.
Laura.
And
Laura.
Alex.
Oh yeah.
And Alex and the lot of them.
Alex, how you get my phone number texting, how your people text, weirdo. Hmm.
Like
Hey, I
seriously.
think and speaking of, I think I struck a nerve with the video I did on my channel today. It's when you
No,
get off, you're
interesting.
gonna see what I'm talking about.
Interesting. We got some stuff to catch up on. No, but I mean, I want y'all to think about that. I wonder how many people are in jail because of some AI manipulated crap.
Yeah.
They've been putting people in jails for a long time who weren't guilty of stuff, forcing them to have to fight. It's funny. A lie will get you in jail and take your life away, but you have to sit there and you have to suffer and wait for people to be willing to accept the truth. People are so much easier to accept a lie than the truth. It's kind of scary when you think about it. I'll never forget the first time I had to actually argue with somebody about what was real about my life. And they said, no, I've seen it online. I seen what it said
Mm,
online. Like somebody was
mm.
literally sitting there arguing with me about the details of my life, about what I know to be true because of what they saw online. It took me 2 hours to have to get them to break them down, to get them to back up off of it long enough for me to show them. And they said, oh, damn, man, that had me fooled. I really believed it.
It's a
I'm
damn shame.
sorry. I'm sorry. I really believe. No, but, and I looked and I'm like, don't be sorry for me because what happens when they do it to you? I wonder who's not going to believe you.
Mm.
And people don't get that. Like when you see these things, like the stuff that's happening to the Hadleys, how many people were just so fast? to believe that Javon was just another black man who put his hands on a woman who he was taking advantage of and whoop de whoop and yada yada yada. Now this is what they were shaping up, the story that they shaped up for, you know, Javon and Demore. But don't nobody see that with Diddy and Gina. Don't nobody see that with Diddy and Cassie. It's not that big a deal. It's so funny because somebody was talking about, how is everybody just so comfortable with the idea of Diddy being a domestic abuser? Like, how is everybody just so cool with that? Oh, he's not guilty of the RICO. He's not guilty of all these other terrible things. He's just guilty of DV. Oh, it's not that deep. He's just guilty of DV. Like, people are saying that. So DV is okay for the diddler, but when it came to Javon Hadley, even though it wasn't true, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, he's a domestic abuser. Oh my God, look at what he's doing to her. But when it's Diddy, oh well, it's not that big. It's not. It's just a little DV. It's not. Is nobody not paying attention to that? Like how strange that is. DV is okay for the diddler, but for Javon, it was the end of the world, and he deserves to have the book thrown at him, and their lives deserve to be torn to all crazy shit. Wait a minute, all I know, Jaguar and Odell, is we had an eighth of YouTube traffic with you. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, but I really want people to think about that. It's okay for Diddy to be DV, but Javon Hadley, we're supposed to get the pitchforks and we're supposed to let Rock Nation tear him apart, right? Like I want people to really pay attention to that. You got people online trying to destroy my word, destroy my name, destroy my character, calling me a liar every day, but nobody wants to call Megan the Mega Man, the horse, out for being a fervent liar. Fervent, like 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 that's wild. How many lies has Megan the Stallion been caught in? And nobody holds her accountable on a day-to-day basis. Matter of fact, one of her lies that she told was so catastrophic that it put a whole black man in jail who got poked up 14 times, and people are still encouraging her foolishness. Kind of wild. Dad, I'm gonna be clean as anyway. We can reach out to you, do some more stuff. I mean, you can definitely send an email and let's see where we can go from there. I don't know what you're doing, but we're seeing a whole lot of stuff happening in your backdrop, sir.
My battery is dying. Hold on.
Got it. But no, I mean, I really want people to think about that. You want to know the one thing, one of the biggest moments that I think everybody's missing. So to save the Carter reputation, Papa knows, Papa Smurf comes out and does an interview talking about this and talking about that and whoop de whoop, yada yada yada, and so on and so forth. Don Lemon does an interview with him, and he avoids asking four questions that should have been asked. Number one, why didn't you fight harder when your daughter fired you so her husband could take over? Because he was busy there calling himself the greatest manager of all time, and he's the greatest this and he's the greatest that, and he did the great. He managed the greatest female artist and the greatest female group, and whoop de whoop. But you didn't fight to keep your manager's job. You just took it laying down and rolled over and let this big lip fuckboy just snatch the number one money maker from you. He didn't ask him that question. Next question he didn't ask him that he should have asked is, what was it like to see your daughter stuck in the middle of all of the nasty press that her husband gets on a regular basis? Didn't ask that question at all.
He wasn't
Next
going to ask
question.
that.
Next question he didn't ask. How do you feel about your granddaughter being worked as hard as she's being worked at her young age? And I know that y'all had, Beyonce was doing this and doing that, but like she wasn't working full tour. She wasn't like working like a full grown adult at the age of 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. How do you really feel about that? Didn't ask him that at all. But the most important question that I thought should have been asked is, how do you feel about the fact that all of your family came out against you as, as an adulterer who made a bunch of babies on your ex-wife and on your family? They had no problem with condemning you, but none of them are speaking out against the allegations against your son-in-law. See, now that is a great question.
Hmm.
How do all of the women in your family condemn you for being an adulterer and making babies out of wedlock? But when your son in law is accused, don't nobody got nothing to say? Like, I don't know. Is that not wild to y'all? Like, for real, like, is that not wild that this man's family, he cheated on me. He made babies on my mama. He did this. He's got kids out of the family. He did this. He did that. All of the women in his family running with this regarding him. But nobody says nothing about the Jigga Man and all of the allegations of all of his. Is that not weird?
It's crazy.
I'm just asking. Is that not weird?
Wow.
They gonna hold the patriarch of their family who did all of this, the greatest manager, made all of this stuff happen, did all of this. They did. Beyonce sang about it in her songs and about what her daddy was and what her daddy did and what her daddy and how he did this to her mama and whoop de whoop. But they ain't got nothing to say about the Jigga Man. Like, that's crazy. What it says to me is that they got more respect for that criminal from Marcy Projects than they do their own pappy. Like, that's wild. Like Tina Celestine, she made all of that big deal about being cheated on and the babies and the this and the that. They should be like pitchforking Jay-Z right now, the way they went after Matthew. Wonder why. Hmm. I wonder why. I wonder. I wonder why nobody's holding the Jigga Man accountable for anything, but everyone was holding Matthew Knowles accountable for everything. And guess what? He pays for his kids. He takes care of his other kids. He financially supports them. I'm just trying to figure out once it's finally proven that Ramin is actually the Jigga Man's son. I'm curious. Are they gonna have something to say about all of that stuff? Then? Hmm? I'm curious. Are they going to insist that he takes care of all of his bastards the way they insisted that they daddy take care of his bastards? I'm just trying to figure it out. It's looking a little weird to me anyway. But mm, you know what? We get in there. We get into the end of the night. It would be great if we could get 150 more likes before we go. Um, we still got a decent amount of people in this room, so I don't. And salute to Set in the West. Device overheated. We understand. Conversation getting a little. But seriously though, I think I'm gonna publish at 400 on the votes. I can't see the tally here because it was there we go. Now here we are. Hmm, interesting. We'll stay here a little bit longer. I think I'm gonna end the poll at um at 400 votes. And like I said, it would be great if we could end up, if we could end with 1,000 likes. We have enough people in here. Oh, welcome, welcome, one Mufasa. Welcome, Jag Nation. You remember? Enjoy kicking it in here with all of your neighbors. Um, yeah, we're about 130 off of that top like goal, which would be great. And this vote, we're getting there. We're getting there. Hmm. Well, let's move the elephant. That little girl needs some help, and they need to stop. I feel the same way. Kamita, I feel the same way. I feel the same way. It's total exploitation. They got that poor child running around, and then you see the videos, and then they have, oh, look at her. She's so this, and she's so that, and she's so this. They still ain't got the boy. The boy is, but see, that's what happens though when you play with God and you play God. You know, one of these days, the truth is going to come out. All of it. It's all going to come out. Ain't no getting around it. I just want to know if all of the people who bought into these lies, who bought into this farce, who bought into this foolishness, I just want to know what are they going to say? Listen to me. The simple fact that those children are forced to grow up with any Kardashian, anything as a decision making parent in their families, it's scary. It's very scary because these people have no morals. They believe in nothing. And what they believe in is based in nothing. It's I grew up with celebrity kids. I saw what it did to them. And it's worse now than it was then. At least people had a little bit of morals back then in the 80s, in the 90s, but now thank you, Michael. Thank you for that. But no, seriously, and I wish they let Chris Brown reach. No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that because they still need to leave some room for Usher, who is a part of the boule. They look out for their own. They take care of their own. That's how that works. Satan is who they worship. Exactly. And anybody who is God's, gift, God's true ability, um, yeah, they gonna fight it every step of the way. They gonna do whatever they have to do to make sure that if it's God's gift, it don't get no real respect. Hmm. Ah, thank you, Michael. You know, we're almost there. Once we get through this poll, we're gonna get ready to wrap it up. You can't believe anything that comes out of that man's mouth because he's a liar. And anybody who would try to encourage you to believe anything that's coming out of his mouth is most definitely also a liar. You just have to ask why. Well, I appreciate that. Trust me. As much as I love music, as much as I love performing, as much as I love being an entertainer, as much as I love being out there with the people and doing all of that, walking away was not an easy thing. It wasn't. It wasn't easy for me at all. Not by any means. I was built for it. I was born for it. To walk away from something that's just so amazing at is not an easy thing to do. But I gotta believe that God's got more for me. See, and that what He wants me to do with this is more than what they wanted me to do with it for them. When I was sitting there listening to Matthew Knowles bragging about what a great manager he was because he prostituted his daughter to every company that would endorse her and give them money. That's what he said. You don't understand brands and she had L'Oreal and McDonald's and this, that, and the other. And all of these companies do nothing for the black community. All of these companies do nothing for our people. All of these companies do nothing but encourage people to spend money on a bunch of shit that they don't need that ain't healthy for them. All of these companies is whack as fuck. And that's what makes you such a great manager. Because you prostituted your daughter to any company that would be willing to pay while she sat there and promoted their products, which were doing nothing but harm to our communities. I'm sorry. That makes you a great manager? Well, that makes you a good pimp. But everybody said that's what you was anyway. So I'm sure in your eyes, you know, better than the whorehouse, just a boardroom table. Thank you, Carmelita. No, serious. Or should I say, Carmita? Um, I don't think people understand when it gets to the point where where human life and human gifts are only worth money, are monetarily valued only. We done lost. Yeah, that was his wife, not his girlfriend, not his baby mom. That was his wife. Diddy never married her. But then again, he couldn't. She was already married. See? But you got so many people. What do we believe? Let's let's start getting our minds somewhere close to right because we gotta stop believing the hype. We got to. It's It's driving our communities insane. It's making us look stupid. It's making us look crazy. Hmm. Here we are. Ooh. Well, I'm definitely screenshotting this one. Here goes your poll, ladies and gentlemen. Do you believe? I'll be sure. 401 votes. 80% says yes. 19% say no. Yes, it is. Without a doubt, the way, the truth, and the light. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to send that to him. I need to drop that in his DMs. There's so many people that have called him a liar because they want to stick up for this demon, this deviant, this weirdo. Got to stop believing that. On that note, my name is Jaguar Wright. It's been fun kicking it with y'all. But it's time for us to push on. We'll see you soon. And yeah, keep spreading the good word. And if it doesn't feel right, and if it feels unbelievable, 9 times out of 10 it's probably because it is. I will. And he's got a book out there. It's titled Do You Believe Me Now? And I hope everyone does. I hope everyone does. I thank the people who are brave enough to believe the truth when they hear it. And I'm going to pray for every last one of y'all who would rather believe the lies. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 9 through 12. For they will not believe the truth. I will send them strong delusion and allow them to believe a lie. And though they could have been saved, they took pleasure in their wickedness and they perished instead. Godspeed to you all as well. All right, see y'all soon. And Diddy's not coming home. He's not getting out. No more bond packages. Hmm. Everybody want him to come out. Wonder why.